hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right, y'all. So ultimately, this is going to be the life path reading, right? For life path one, life path readings for life path one. If you don't know how to calculate your life path, you add up the numbers to your birthday, and you keep adding them up until you get one singular number. All right. So not all readings are going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That is okay. That simply means that this reading isn't for you, okay? And if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Just 'cause that's how you want it doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it, all right? All right. And thank you to all of the donations that I've received in 3D in real life. I appreciate them so much, you guys. All right, so let's kick into this reading. All right, Life Path One. Let's see what you got going on. We're kicking it off with the Kipper deck, right? All right. So for the alchemical ones, it'll be about income and great fortune, but it's realistically about not having a great fortune, not having a lot of money, not having a trophy. Uh, I'm also hearing not being recognized in regards to the stability and practicality of what it is that will be organized. All right. So great fortune. Anything else to go along with this? Nope. Okay. So great fortune in regards to being a false person. Some of this is going to be in what this is giving is in acting, not being fortunate in the act, not being fortunate in acting, or even being what constitutes as not being yourself, being inauthentic. Okay. Well, life path one, this is something that you're the what constitutes as the magician, the one that can make things happen, one that can make things happen. Okay, that's what it's about. Let's see what you got going on though, right? And what it is, it'll be about what it is you would be making happen, right? In this whole winning at all costs, right? And one of the things that comes into place within the winning at all costs or the shifting of one's words, right? Or what it is to change or have grace in the thoughts and in the words, right? But ultimately, the cost it is that would be paid would be that you wouldn't have a great fortune because ultimately you're not walking in your path, is what this is giving. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Life Path One, I'm hoping that we can get some clarity on what it is that you would need to do, though. But let's check this out because even in the knowing more, you knowing that it's this competitive nature. In the traditional viewpoint of winning at all costs, it shows, two people walking away or at least one person walking away while the other person is holding three swords on their across their left shoulder. So it's going to be about the heartbreak and what it is that would be done or not in what it is that would be done, the heartbreak that would come within what it is that would be felt and the clarity that would be held within. Yeah, because the five of swords that I'm seeing, it will be about the clarity is that would be held within looking at the person that will be walking away, and there would be the truth or the initiation of the line being drawn with that last sword. Now that's one depiction of that winning at all costs. The other depiction of it would be the indecision and what it is that would be felt, and then there would be a clarity that would be held and what it is that would be done. So that'll be the competitive nature of things. And then I heard something about a one card reading. No, it's not a one card reading. This is what I'm seeing in my third eye. And then there would be the absence of the indecision at the basis of it, right? So in short, when a person just competing just for the hell of it is realistically And it's one of those, I was just competing just because I wanted something to do or because I needed something to do in that moment. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all together. Get yourselves together. Life path one, don't do that. Because that will mess up your path a lot. It will truly mess up your path a lot. Okay? Path a lot. I'm saying path a lot, but I'm hearing pathological liar. Don't do that, right? Especially with this false person portion. Yeah, because if you don't really want to be an actor, that's not something that you should really go for, or you don't really want to be inauthentic. Yeah, because or wear the mask. It's okay for you to show your face, and because it's given the shame that will come within showing your face. Okay. So the other portion of this, right? With yeah, because I'm holding four cards. So this will be about that whole four cups situation, what it is that you would have paid attention to in regards to the impatience. This is and not being an artist, not being an artist, and the celebrations and there being a community of people who aren't friends. This is giving fake love, fake friends. That whole frenemy situation. Oh my goodness, poor thing. Life path one. You're doing that's because what's being mirrored for you is um the fact that you were being inauthentic. Life path one. You need to really sit with yourself and get the authenticity because in this competitive nature, right? What the number one doesn't have to compete with anything. It's singular and it's prime, right? And it's given the whole what I'm hearing that song if you've ever watched the Highlander, right? So this could be talking about an Oregon Trail. This could be talking about some boots or something. So that'll be something to pay attention to. But the Highlander, right? And in the Highlander, right? The opening song is I'm I do want to sing. I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal. Right now, here's the irony that comes into place with it: is always depicted the Highlander. We always focus on the masculine one, right? But what happens when the feminine aspect comes into place later on? Because he's searching for his equal. It says, no man can be my equal. It doesn't say anything about a woman. I feel that it's necessary for me to say this, so I will. And if you watch the Highlander series, you know. All right, okay. So there's that whole there's one aspect right at the lowest portion that'll be talking about the lack of virtue that comes within the third party situation being an entire community. Okay. The other portion of this is going to be in regards to it not being about the arts and not being about the art of one not being a friend. Yeah, people don't know what it is to be friends nowadays, like Path One. I will go ahead and say that. And if you get you a good friend, you better hold on to them. It's like the whole life journey. It must be nice because good friends are really hard to come by, especially in the day and age of social media and the comparison and contrast that comes with wanting to do things in a traditional fashion, especially because in the traditional fashion, they didn't have the modes, MODES, of communication that available to them that we have available to us now. In short, they weren't subjected to as much temptation, okay, as we are today, right? Temptation is everywhere and it's roaming free, right? It's everywhere, right? And that's where you, as a life path one, right? You need to pay attention to what it is that you would be manifesting because that is a part of your life path. to manifest and to make sure certain things come into fruition and they're being the truth, right? And you gotta have the truth, right? And the truth shall set you free, right? And the truth of one's spirit, not being very. And the other thing is given in this whole false person is a person who really isn't spiritual. Mm, mm, mm. Or they don't have a lot of spirit. They're not spirited. A person not being spirited. And that's the tower moment that comes into place with it. They're not spiritual, they're not spirited. And within this completion or this community of financial abusers is basically, yeah, because we got this king of pentacles in reverse. And the community of material, being materialistic. Oh my goodness! Now, in the alchemical aspect, it'll be about the angelic friends, and how you would have angels as friends. The other portion, in the alchemical aspect, right? Being fortunate with having angelic friends, and there being this uh, stability or the stabilizing force in the community so that there can be fruitfulness, right? So it's that portion. The other thing that is really coming to me a whole lot for you, Life Path One, is going to be about being fruitful. And Venus retrograde ultimately would have taught you would have taught you some things that would have taken place in March. What this is giving is the fourth week of March. You would have had some things go on where there would have been some financial abuse from those who wouldn't have been friends to you, right? They wouldn't have been friends to you. They wouldn't have been payoffs. Okay, so in regards to the whole payoff aspect, one of the things it is that I've learned that is a good thing to do in the karmic essence. Once you've paid your karmic debt to that situation, you have nothing else to worry about. I heard even if they start stalking, okay, this is coming from, I'm thinking this is coming from another Taurus because where it's lit up in my body, it's another earth sign, right? Because Taurus rules the throat, right? And it pairs with Gemini in communications portion. But ultimately, the aspect of what it is to be fruitful and realistically to be an older woman, to be an aunt, and to take on took on the mannerisms and aspects of an older woman, a karmic older woman. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Have mercy. What are you guys into? But yeah, so paying attention to those varying aspects. Venus retrograde would have shown the amount of financial abuse that would have come into place with the community. So it's that portion. Now, in the alchemical aspects, the redemption that would come into place would be uh, being fruitful, and the doing of love that comes into place with one not being realistically Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, but possibly being I'm hearing Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius. Mm, but it's Libra and the Aquarian aspect. Now, the Aquarian aspect that I'm getting from this is a part of that Capricorn portion with Uranus, right? And how Saturn, Saturn playing its part in this, and that would be a part of that ending. Some of the other stuff it is okay. I just heard say what you have to. Some of this other stuff it is will be what it is that will be going on in a tower. I heard something about a person not believing that you could read someone's essence. I've been reading people's essences for a while. So if they didn't believe it, that's on them. I'm not upset about it. I know what I do. Just the same. And what they're really saying is you should know what you do as well. You should know what you do is what you would do as well, or who you are. That whole portion that comes into place with the false person. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this last little portion because in the life path readings, if I can find them, there we go. In the life path readings, I do pull a couple heart cards for you, right? So this is going to give you some things that you would need to examine in your heart life path one. All right, to help you better get an understanding of where your heart would be broken and now because the gospel song would be coming in. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, oh, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand no matter what may come my way. My life is in your hands. Okay, so some people like to change, right, the words of it, but the meaning is still the same. Um, it's about knowing. It's about the knowing portion, and when you know you're a false person, when they know they're the wrong person, but I heard and they take it anyway, and they take it anyway. Hey, I'm just doing the heart cards right now, y'all. I'm just looking. And if you would have watched it's coming to me. If you would have watched the reading about dropping to your heart, that's about the journey of love. Is somebody trying to request that I do a journey of love reading, or I include those in these? All right. So only one heart card came out, right, and it says only time will tell. For some people, this is going to be about TikTok as it's manifested. Some people it's going to be about TikTok. Sometimes it's going to be in regards to actual time. The actual time it is that will be showing up will be like 3 o'clock. Some of the That's definitely one of them. If you depicted time in the manner of cups, 3:40. If you've seen it as wands, but you got 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3:40, 4:03. Paying attention to those different things, especially if you're looking into angelic numbers. Yeah, if you're looking at the angelic aspect of some of the stuff, you might want to you need to study angel numbers better. Life path one, and even in regards to if you're looking at it as 1 o'clock, at 1 o'clock being not having a great fortune, right, and that being the truth of it, with that whole only time will tell. The other portion with this as the overall essence, and there being the inclusion of you're not the right person to even compete in regards to shaking up or stirring things up. Yeah, the whole only time will tell. I mean, you putting too much time into it. You putting too much time into certain things that realistically, according to this, is something you were supposed to be clearing up during Venus retrograde and not being stable, right? But the overall essence, or not overall essence, but the heart card says, though we may be physically apart, spiritually, we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. It says, though we may be physically apart, and it's coming to me. So now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say this, and then I can close this reading out. One of the things that was coming to me was about doubting Thomas, right? In short, those people who have to see it and touch it to believe it. if it was such an issue, a lot of people like to stress this so badly. Oh, you a doubting Thomas. Well, being a doubting Thomas isn't a bad thing because everything it is that was prophesied in every aspect, you could see it, you could touch it. So it's not a bad thing to be in that mindset of no, it has to be seen, touched, or it needs to be tangible. Okay, especially in regards to when one is older, you learn, right? That it's about what you can see and touch and feel. You can believe all you want, right? But it's not anchored until you've actually had the tangibility come into fruition. That's something that's just known, that's mechanics, that's science. That's what God gives us to understand the universe. God gives us to understand the universe. So I'm hoping that helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, I truly encourage you to do so through Lightwork and Lightwork LLC at gmail.com. That's LIGHTWORKAINTLIGHTWORKLLC at gmail.com. All right, all right. Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work.